Hi everybody. Today I'm doing a rose tutorial. Now everybody has a different way of doing roses, but my way is not very realistic, but they are quite symmetrical, and I do think when roses are done this way, they look very good together in a cluster. So as you can see, I'm using some leftover paint. That is the good thing about watercolor. It will dry and you can reactivate it at any moment and still have that vibrancy and pigment. Some people say they find fresh paint squeezed out of a tube to be more easy to work with and produce a better result, but personally I cannot tell the difference and I enjoy reactivating my paint. This color is mixed from a mixture of a peachy yellow, a pink, and some orange. Okay. Another thing is that I really believe in intuitive color mixing, which means I don't use a color chart. I don't like to be very strict about my colors. I like more happy accidents. That's what makes me feel creative and good about myself, when I'm accidentally able to mix up a nice color. Okay, so I guess, I guess I'll just do one first, and then when I do the next one, I will go into more detail. But for now, I just wanted to show you how quick and easy it is to do a rose. And like I said, in my larger floral paintings, the rose is, I would call them a centerpiece or a statement piece. All the other flowers seems to embellish the roses. So to me, the roses are very special. And I always do them first. When I start a new floral painting, I love to start with the roses. I feel like once I get the roses down, the other pieces just come together. Okay, as you can see, the petals get lighter and lighter as I go out. I don't always do it like this, but I think this is a really nice effect. For a smaller piece, the paper I'm using is 4x6 on a fluid, that's the brand name, fluid watercolor paper block. Right. Okay, let's see. And then I hold it up and look at it and see if it's symmetrical, and if it's not, I try to do a little more. Okay. Okay. And now I like to go in with a little more paint of the same color and just add a little bit of shading on each of the petals. See, like, after you make, when you look at a rose, it looks much more complex than the amount of effort that went into it. Because basically what I'm doing is just repeating the same motion and making the same shape over and over again. And as I do that, the flower comes together. That's the beautiful thing about florals, is that they are not complicated, but they look complicated. I don't know, they look harder than they actually are. And so few things in life are like that. Usually things look easy and they are actually quite difficult. Not florals. Florals are easy. Anybody can do this. Notice how I put pressure on the tip of my brush. I go in with a point, use the belly, and lift up. Sorry, my hands are a little shaky. I mean, I've had shaky hands since I was a little kid. I don't know what's wrong with me, but something's not right. But it's okay, we're all special. And despite my shaky hands, I can still paint, so it doesn't matter. Okay, and now we have one rose. This kind of discoloration, like darker spots, it doesn't really bother me so much, but if you don't like it, you can always just blend it out. That's the cool thing about watercolor. It's quite a forgiving medium, I believe. Some people don't think so. Okay, now I'll just leave it like this, and once the painting is done, I will go back and embellish it with highlights, with more shadows, and possibly with metallics. That is my technique. I don't sweat the small stuff in the first step. Okay, and now let's do the second one. Okay, I take a sort of a dark maroonish, but a little on the cool side of a red color. I really, I'm sorry if this bothers you, but I really don't like get very I don't get very crazy about the color names and things like that. By the way, I am using, these are Core Watercolors, 24 colors. And this side is Daniel Smith, and most of them are Daniel Smith Primatech, which are paints made from genuine ground crystals and gemstones, which I believe are just the best thing ever for florals, because they granulate so beautifully. But we'll talk about that in another video. Now we focus on making the second rose. I'm sorry, I need to pay more attention to this. Look. So you make a kind of like a snail-like figure. So you do one line and another one right underneath. And then you do another one. Basically, you make sort of like it looks like a little maze. And it's really spontaneous, because not every rose has to be the same. And then as you do the second layer, you start using the points on your brush more to make the petals. So light pressure, press down, and lift up. Okay, and then for as you gradually expand the flower, you elongate the strokes. And then I always try to put the petals, like, to have the petals cover the open spot between the previous two petals. So look, it goes like this, and light pressure. And then you can always go back and fix the points that didn't work out so well. And I have the petals overlap. Okay, and now we have another open spot right here that I am going to put a petal over. All right, and then to create a to create more light and shade, I go in and rinse my brush just like one swirl in the water, in the dirty water, I should say. I don't use yeah, you don't need to do it in the clear water, so there's still residual paint on the brush. And you go back in, and you can see the petals are getting lighter and lighter. Okay, and you do this. And you just keep expanding. And I'm going to rinse my brush once more to do the outer layer, which I like it to be the lightest layer of the rose. Okay. Now we do a little bit of a half petal because it's blocked by the other rose. And then just a few more. You gotta know when to stop. The best way to tell is to hold up the painting and look at it from far away, maybe with your eyes half closed. You can really get an idea of the symmetry and the shading. Okay, I've already made my paper dirty, but it's okay. It's okay. We'll cover that up with, all of this little imperfections. We'll cover up with leaves and berries and other cool things. Okay, and then just a few baby ones on the outer edge. Okay, and now we're gonna go in with the shading. I find that darkening half of the rose petals really gives them a nice effect. When you look from far away, it almost seems like the roses have a gradient, but it's not a gradient, it's just layered paint. Like I said, low effort, high quality. Okay. Okay. Now we got 2 roses. Let me fix this up a little bit because it's kind of bothering me. Okay, so now we will move on to the leaves, because to work on anything else on these flowers, we will have to wait for them to completely dry. This is very special green. It is my favorite green. It is Daniel Smith Primatech. Oh my god, what is it called? Serpentine. There. Okay. And when you have two roses like this, you can put leaves right here. That will look good. And you do leaves by using the pressures, by using the pressure of your brush, so they naturally form. No, you do not need to sketch. You do not need to sketch out these little shapes of leaves. They only take one stroke. That's why I say that florals are very easy. There you go. So you make a variety of leaves, but they all point toward the part where the two roses touch. They're all facing that same direction. Okay. And again, we will do more to the leaves in a minute after they dry. For now, they're okay like this. And I'm gonna get a little bit of a darker green. Okay. And I'll make some lines, because that is what you typically see in a floral painting with roses. That is the typical embellishments for a rose. And now I will add little leaves. Okay, I really should be using a smaller brush to accomplish the smaller leaves with pressure point, but I love painting an entire painting with only one brush. I don't know why, it's just a thing that I have. Maybe it's some kind of OCD. Okay. There. And do the other ones the same way. None of them have to be perfect. Okay. And it seems as though our first rose has dried. So now I will go in with my fine tack metallics. Look how beautiful they are. And I will this is how you have to activate them. Fine tacks are great, but they do dry very quickly and you have to activate them for quite a long time. Okay, so I will just quickly go over each petal with metallics to give them an extra dimension. think it looks a bit darker on camera than it does in real life. Or maybe I did choose too dark of a color. Oh God, why did I do that? It's okay. This is just a demonstration if you choose. Usually I would choose a lighter color for the metallic embellishments, or at least use a less concentrated version. But it works on this darker rose. Okay. There. You can see the shimmer, but just a hint. And now we must move on to the highlights. Which, actually, I'm going to use a different pen. This is a Sakura Jelly Roll gel pen, white gel pen, number 10, which is so necessary in an artist's collection. I don't think any artist should go without it. Okay, so we'll just go in. I put the highlight on the inner edge of every petal to give them a feeling of being very detailed, and even to evoke some kind of movement, as though they are shivering in the wind. Yes, that's what I'm going for. Okay. And then the second one. Okay, and now they are done. I think this is really all I need for a small painting like this. It's just an impression of roses in the wind. Yes, I like doing this to my leaves sometimes, not always. But I think they look nice here. Okay. And that's it. 25 minutes from start to finish. And if this is a gift for a special someone, make sure you sign your name. And this size is perfect for a postcard. Who wouldn't want to receive a hand-painted postcard like it's 1894? Yes, yes, yes. Let me take that off. There you go. What do you think? I hope you create your own today.